What's up everybody, it's me E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews, and today we're going to review The Conjuring Part 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. Alright, let's jump right into a quick intro. A young man has committed murder and his defense is that he was under demonic possession. This forces the Warrens to take on one of their biggest cases to date. Alright, enough of that, let's get on to the good.
The good.
Now, obviously one of the strongest positives with The Conjuring Part 3 is the Warrens themselves. Despite their youthful appearances compared to their older characters, Wilson and Farmiga really do make you believe that they're just a couple of lovebirds, you know, who just so happen to exorcise demons and ghosts. Their on-screen chemistry is superb, and they are certainly the driving force in the film. Anytime they're on screen, that's when they have your full attention. Now, I will say that the writing for The Conjuring 3 is pretty good as well. Now, this film also has a very interesting story that will keep you intrigued. The coolest parts were how this story was based on a real-life court case and the mystery element that will keep you wondering all the way until the very end. Although it was a bit disappointing that the why behind the supernatural phenomenon was deemed irrelevant and ignored, it doesn't take away from the fact that you still want to know more the deeper the film goes. Now, as a nice bonus, this movie does just like the other Conjuring films and gives you some nice teases for potential spin-off. Now, I personally was really interested in John Noble's character who played Kastner, or formerly Father Kastner, and there's just so much curiosity wrapped up in his character, and it's practically begging audiences to know more about his past with maybe another movie. Anyway, that's all there is. Let's get on to the bad.
The bad.
Look, probably the most disappointing thing about The Conjuring 3 is how basic it is when it comes to being within this horror genre. I mean, it is completely formulaic, and as a result, it's so predictable. Director Michael Chaves provided very little originality in the scares in this movie and telegraphs the scares at practically every turn. There's never a moment where you don't know that a scary thing is about to happen. I mean, it even gets to the point where we're overusing those tired old horror movie tropes, you know, like the running and tripping and falling woman, and it's just ridiculous that this movie can't find something new to offer. There were just a lot of missed opportunities to really make this movie scarier than it tried to be. The jump scares were mediocre at best, and the movie didn't utilize any type of creative cinematography to really push our imaginations. Look, all I'm saying is, if you can see the scares coming, then they're not going to be that scary. Plus, it really doesn't help that you start reusing the same ghoul or ghost monster or whatever over and over again. I mean, at one point, I was just sitting here thinking like, yo, are the Warrens gonna call the Ghostbusters or Rick from The Walking Dead? Anyway, enough of that, let's get on to the reason.
The reason.
The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, is by far the weakest of the Conjuring movies thus far. It's a generic and unimaginative horror that relies way too heavy on the genre tropes, and it basically fails to stand uniquely on its own. This movie should be a clear sign for Warner Brothers that if they want this franchise to succeed, then they need to put James Wan back in the director chair at whatever cost. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fine to have directors take on the spin-off movies, but for The Conjuring, which is supposed to be like your big tentpole franchise major hitter, you need James Wan in that director chair because these other directors are not always hitting it. Anyway, when it comes to the rating for The Conjuring Part 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, I've got to give it a 5.5 out of 10. I mean, look, this movie had two jobs. First one, set up potential spin-off movies. Okay, cool, you guys did that with Kastner and all that. Second job, be scary. Failed at that. Look, if you're an experienced horror movie fan, if you love horror movies, this movie is mediocre at best. It just does not get it done. Now, if you're new to horror, or if you just don't watch a lot of horror movies, and maybe if you scare very easily, then this movie is gonna be just fine. It might actually be scary to you. But maybe this will help you understand it differently. I like to compare horror movies to like spicy food, right? You know, sometimes the scarier it is, the spicier it is, man, it might give you indigestion or nightmares, and you know, you're still a sucker and you come back for more, right? Well, if The Conjuring 3 had like a spice level, It ain't hot, it ain't medium, it's like mild. I mean, yes, it's got some flavor, but it has no kick. But hey, if it's safe in your area, feel free to go check it out in theaters if you want. Now, I also would recommend that before watching The Conjuring 3, it would definitely help to either watch or rewatch Annabelle 3 or Annabelle Comes Home. That'll just give you a good foundation or refresher of some things that come up in The Conjuring 3, so that way you're not completely lost. Anyway, do you plan on watching The Conjuring 3? If and when you do, come on back to this video and let me know what you thought about the movie. Anyway, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my video. Are you new to my channel? Be sure to check out some of my other videos, and if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, and tell a friend. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.